Okay, I know I don't have much room to make excuses about how this year's gone for me, but it still needs being said. I apologize for the lack of content from me over the past year. When this year began, I was given the idea from my brother to try and look for a place to live apart from mom and dad. At first, there was a bright ray of hope for that to be successful earlier this year, but then a very vast and unexpected expense quickly shut down that plan, and even now, I've yet to get back to where I was that short time, my day job. Because of this, I've had to shelve my dream of getting my own place this year, and instead begin thinking of how I'm going to get built up to this point where I can either by myself or with one of my friends. Speaking of which, my day job is the main contributor to my lack of content. Some years ago, the system of which used to run the scheduling was swapped out with another one, taking away my morning shifts and putting me into more randomized shifts instead, throwing off my entire original content schedule, and now I'm perpetually stuck in afternoon shifts with random mornings and short shifts thrown into the mix, as well as random days off. As of the making of this script, I had a very rare full weekend rather than days off within the week, but this video is a little bit late in getting out there, so apologies about that. Which brings me to the next topic of this video, a new content schedule. Given that most of my week is comprised of afternoon shifts, usually some variation of 2 to 11s, with the odd morning shift here and there, and days off being random as well, for my work days, there will be one video upload at noon Central Time every day I'm able to. A much earlier upload will happen if I have an earlier shift instead. My days off, however, will be an exception. On my days off from work, there will be double uploads at noon and 3 p.m. Central in order to help me finish getting through my backlog of videos from last year. Uploads will be a mix of old footage from D2 that I recently finished editing and newly recorded games until everything's all caught up on my end. Regardless, there will at least be one video a day for me in my backlog of junk. Every now and then there will be a dry spell as I try to take my editing to a new level by making a very heavily edited video to try and improve myself, taking my time and thinking carefully about how I want to do what it is I'm trying to do. There could also be a mix of 2 new videos or 2 old videos on my days off, depending on what all I have. Speaking of my backlog, I've decided that it was my previous idea of bulk recording that initially caused my burnout to slam me so hard. There were so many videos that I recorded and so much commentary that it dawned on me that it would take forever to finish it all, or that my editing wasn't going to be proficient enough to be entertaining. It took me long enough to accept that the boat of notoriety that I once sailed all those years ago early on my time in YouTube has long since left me behind with not more than a dinghy and an oar. Dug myself into an inescapable pit from which I can't even see the entrance anymore. And that's fine. It's my own damn fault for putting myself in this situation. Just another thing to put on my list to work on as I struggle to get some form going on here. I do have a Twitch channel, of which I've been doing some practice streams on every now and then to get my settings and stuff where they need to be, but I will not be advertising it in full just yet. Me and my little brother have to look into getting our own internet service and our own routers that is actually meant for streaming and gaming, not the 7-year-old potato over router mom and dad refused to upgrade from. Recently, an issue was causing my PC to start soft-locking itself. More often than it was before, which used to be a once-in-a-blue-moon thing. Thankfully, that's gotten fixed, but now there's one other problem that I will eventually figure out what the cause is. Nowadays, a lot of people and several friends of mine, the Inverted Shadow, Angel the Catgirl, Blessius, and countless more, have turned to Patreon to help earn the money to support themselves and their families. Now, I know I've been told before that Patreon is a great way to earn extra side money to help with daily expenses, as well as saving up for something huge like traveling to a con or building your very own bedroom with your own bare hands, or even buying and affording your own apartment room. I know you small few who will find this video. Either you've clicked the notice bell or you've scrolled that far down in your sub list to spot my name amongst the many others you follow, are going to think I'm going to make one right away and start throwing it out in everyone's faces, but you'd be wrong. And that's because of the way I see it with me. Patreon is only for people who are worthy. Worthy to have fans, worthy to be respected, worthy to have support from those that follow them. Not once during my 7 years on this channel have I ever been worthy of having a fan, or have people's respect or support in that regard. There may be one day where I do, but at this point I'm just another forgettable name that nobody gives second thought to. Doesn't mean I haven't kept thinking about making one. If I can get more information about how it works from friends that use it, that would be helpful in making any critical decisions of my own. Most likely, there'll be only a single tier for a single buck, like a simple tip jar until I hit another creator milestone or get noticeable again. Only then will I open another tier for like $5 or maybe $10 a month, although I have to make something interesting as an incentive people, which is the hardest thing for me to pull off, being so stupid and all. Streamlabs is another thing I'm hesitant about implementing into my streams. I don't want people to think I'm a greedy little shit for having both of these services when I'm unworthy and forgettable of having either active, but it's a future idea for sure. That's about all I can think of to cover. Not the comeback video I've been planning and making the past few weeks since my burnout began fading away, but that will be coming in future days once I get everything where it needs to be. I hope I can one day re-earn your trust and one day earn the title of content creator for you all. From you all, my peers, my watchers, and most importantly, my judges.